on here. Okay, well, we're back again today with another stream. And itchy. Okay, so like we'll just sit here and think for a second. We'll figure it out. Okay, let's go over here to my desktop, and let's see. I've got my preview going over there on the laptop. Okay, let's go over here. Yeah, I was really meant to switch to this. Okay. Go ahead and pause that. Looks like my stream is working good. It's takes me longer to see if everything's okay because I have it on a delay to try to help combat any caching issues or anything, streaming it from here to YouTube, So this is the TeamViewer download page, the new one actually. I changed it up a bit, and they have TeamViewer 13 out now. I thought I'd go check on TeamViewer, and I was trying to use that and Tiger VNC the other day. That's Tiger VNC that I had already downloaded on my little SD card. But I went ahead and downloaded both of them. This one says whatever your operating system, it'll automatically detect it and download it. And it didn't work for me. It said it was going to work, but it didn't. Let's see if it does this time. Well, it went to Linux. Now, it says, do you want to switch to the new TeamViewer website? Well, I was all right, I'll try it. Well, it didn't work. I guess this is what I ended up doing. So if I say, and finally figured out if I say no, it might work for you. I don't know, especially if you're on Windows or whatever. And it may be my AdBlock Plus stopping it from working. I don't know, but I didn't want to fiddle around with it, so I just did what was the quickest. And I like this better anyway. Because I don't want just one kind. I want one type. I want the Debian version. So I downloaded both the 32 and the 64-bit, and I want the Red Hat Fedora version. So I've downloaded both of them. They have a SUSE version. I think I actually may have downloaded it. I think I saw that in my folder. Guess I should go look. Right now, I'm going to look on my backup drive because when I was copying it over to my SD card, let's see, we're doing TeamViewer. Oh yeah, well there's a TeamViewer all by itself. That's not actually what I want, where I would want it to be. I mean, yeah, my Crusader's using up. I'm going to go ahead and get out of that folder. I don't think that'll help me with that, but I can't keep doing that for a long time. It's going to make my system not work good, but I'll try to go ahead and get this done. Okay, I think I ain't going to have it in here. It's VNC. Oops. Got pull you out of there. Yeah, VNC TeamViewer is the way I did it. Equal. Now, here's 13. I've got 13.1 i386, AMD 64, and then, and I have RPM. I must have messed up in my copying things from my downloads folder to there, because let's see, unless the reason that's there, that's TeamViewer 12. That's just a whole bunch of stuff about TeamViewer 12. Let's see. It might be a different. No, it looks like it's the same one I have. Oh, looks like I have it on here twice. So let's. Right click on it here in Crusader and say synchronize directories, but I'm going to go from left to right. They're probably the same, but we'll check and see. No, there was some new stuff in there. I may, if I'm having trouble with 13 not working on any of my systems, I can go back and use 12. Now, that's in the, what did I just do? Yeah, remote desktop software, expansion drive download. Just see, so that's on the downloads. I don't want that doubled up. So I'm going to delete that. Do a little house cleaning while I'm at it here. Oops. Now, but that's not my object of what I'm trying to do right now. 13. So I don't have, doggone it. Guess it's a good thing I'm double checking here. I don't have exactly what I thought I did, because I mean, I only really need right now the 64-bit, but since I was going to go ahead and show how, sometimes it can be a real pain just figuring out how to find stuff. Like I mentioned them all the time, but I didn't show where they were, and sometimes, different sites are all set up so differently. Sometimes it can be a real pain figuring out how to download from them. I'm going to organize those that way. Yeah, remote desktop software, and that's Tiger, VNC, and Type VNC. TeamViewer, and that's how I just called them all VNC, but lately I guess I need to do some research and figure out if TeamViewer is not VNC software, then I shouldn't name it that, because it'd just be inaccurate. So I thought that was a good way. Excuse me. I thought it would be a good way for me to find them real quick, but it turned out really I would just go looking for TeamViewer, and it took me a while to remember, oh yeah, I named that folder VNC. So that's why I went ahead and changed it in my bookmarks. When I was looking in my bookmarks, that's when I ran into that. All right, so I already have the 64-bit, but I don't know how come. I mean, how come I don't have 32-bit? I thought I had them all and had it all accounted for. But yes, it's taken a while for that to switch because that Crusader's working things too hard. But got 2 debs and 1 RPM, and I should have Should have 2 debs and 2 RPMs. Now, it's getting downloaded. It may already be downloaded. We'll see. Make sure it's done before I start moving it. Yep. Okay, so I want that. And I'm just going to move it. It's a small file. If it screwed up, I could just download it again. All right, so now I have that. So I'll be ready for all the type of machines that I have. And I saw an OpenSUSE. I think it must have been on my USB stick. I have an OpenSUSE. I played with it, and I made my own little remix of OpenSUSE. That's what it's kind of all about. But it's an RPM-based distro, but it uses a lot of different things, like the package manager is something I had even never heard of before, being that I always did Debian and Fedora. And not officially supported systems. Now, I think that those are tar packed files. Since I'm here, I got to thinking that I might want to try to run it in portable version, and that's how you used to do it, is just unzip the I don't know if that would work in this case, because they're not saying these are portable versions. Before they said this is your portable version, use this if you want to be portable. Close tabs to the right. Okay, and make sure our download is finished. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and I've got those too in case I need to try to use them. Move those over there, and probably the new version will work just great. May have to put it on all my other machines in order to the viewer may not work. With my viewer is 12, the version 12, so I might end up having to do that, but we'll see. Now, let me go see how. Yeah, I'm still having a little, but I've got to get this part here done. I'm going to put my SD card in there. Well, I'll wait and do that after I look at Tiger VNC and make sure I don't have anything missing on it. So there's TeamViewer, and the main. Let's see what the main website looks like. There's the main website. So you start there and then go from there. And of course, they have free and paid versions. This is not like regular open source software. I don't know that they are open source at all. I'm not sure really. I was thinking about that the other day. Some of them are open source. I mean, you can, as in the way that you can download the source code, but they operate more like proprietary or shareware and freeware, like Windows, you know. But and a lot of them maybe started out just for Windows and then decided to branch out into Linux, and so maybe that's how they, you know, they already had that model going. But Tiger VNC is a fork of Type VNC, and it kind of looks like Type VNC may not really, if it's being developed, it's not too often that they're working on it. It's what I'm guessing now, because the last couple of years, well, the version number is just what's kind of telling me that when I was looking the other day, because I thought, well, Type VNC seems to work better. It seems to work faster. You know, you don't have any lag. Used to, I didn't have any lag hardly at all with Type VNC in it. Well, I did use Vino Server. That's the one I used the most. And then I would use their viewer a lot. And I've tried different ways. But anyway, it looks like this is the newer one. And it's the one that has, and you go to their GitHub page on Tiger VNC to get the downloads. Let's see what they've got here. Okay, yeah, they've got source code zip and source code targz, and that is the newest one they got. It's 1.8.0, and I had let's see, I think both of these are on the, I have to go back to now Tiger VNC. Let's see what I've got. I'm going to organize them in the newest on top here. Yeah, from yesterday I downloaded those two, and so the zip file, it may be for Windows. Let's see. Win, of course. Let's see. No, that's TeamViewer that runs on Wine, Windows emulator. That says Win right there. It may have them all in there. Let's see. Yeah, Win, Unix. I clicked. It's in the middle of opening that file, so it's not responding. Okay, I don't want to edit this anyway. I just wanted to look at it. Oh, it can't even show the file there the way I did that. Okay, so Win for Windows, and okay, and then there's a viewer. So it's the whole thing. Unix, which would run on Linux. Unix is the absolute old great grandpa of Linux, or great grandma, whichever way you want to look at it. Linux was made to be like Unix, but better, basically, easier to use and stuff like that. And it must be, because all these years later, this was back in when Linus Torvalds wrote the first Linux OS, and he's still the one heading up the program, you know. That's what he said. You got a little. There's, you know, the kind of like the historical note he wrote about it when he put it out there for people to download. Anyway, what is this? Well, that's the README. Okay. A whole bunch of different copyrights in there. I think a lot of them are because they forked this over from, you know, previous software. Probably changed over the years. Let's see. Viewer, Windows version, Unix. Oh yeah, this is what I was doing. This is why I wasn't trying to get it to just run. So yeah, it probably will. I forgot to say it again. I think the only thing wrong the other day, why I couldn't log into it when I had it running in the previous version, it seemed like everything was fine, but I couldn't. It said no route to host when I would try to log into it. Well, I forgot to open up the port 5900 on on my firewall, not the router, but the firewall inside Fedora, and I imagine it would have just logged in. So, TeamViewer, like I'm saying, Tiger VNC can be a bit sluggish. So I'm going to try TeamViewer, and if it works good, I'll just use that, and I won't fiddle around with it. But the thing I seem to always forget, well, the first thing you need to do after, you know, before or after you start up your VNC software is on Debian and Fedora, either one of them, you're pretty much going to have to open up that port unless you've already done it before. You know, if you're on a live system or a new system, you're going to have to open up that port. Well, I just completely forgot. I was scratching my head going, I don't know what to do. All I probably needed to do was open up the port. Now this one, I don't know why there's a zip and they look identical. I don't know why there's a zip file. Now the difference between me being able to read that file, I hit edit. The first I just hit enter and it opens it up with the edit command, edit mode. If you hit view, then you don't have any trouble with it. They just don't want you to edit it. As well, and the other thing is it's not unzipped. I'm viewing this within. You can do that in Crusader. You can view zipped and compressed files without actually unzipping them to another, completely to a folder. So there's something about that. So yeah, this all looks about the same. Folders look the same, I think. I'm not that good at comparing, but right offhand they look pretty much the same. So I was running 1.7. I was running the 64-bit, that one right there. And oh yeah, this is all laid out differently. It's just kind of laid out like, I remember that. Okay, so but anyway, it didn't seem to have any trouble running. It would seem to be running perfectly, and everything I was checking was telling me it was working, and I should be able to use it. But I just kept getting no route to host when I would try to go there. So finally, the next morning when I woke up, that's been happening a lot lately. You know, people always talk about that. Well, it's been happening to me every morning. I wake up and it hits me. I guess my brain was working, processing everything, even though I don't remember it at all. It was processing everything. When I woke up, it told me. Of course, I forget. When I'm doing the desktop, I forget you can't even see when I just stop talking. It's usually because I'm doing something. I was plugging the SD card on the USB adapter into the machine. Yeah, it's already mounted up. It's small, not a lot of data, so it doesn't take too long. So, what I want to do, go ahead and get in that. Go into my files there. Okay, TeamViewer. Yeah, this is what I want. 13. It's on the bottom when it's I'm organized that way. Okay, so 13. Yeah, there is one that says TeamViewer SUSE 13.386, but I don't, I must have gotten myself all turned around that day because I don't think I have a TeamViewer SUSE. Let's just hit synchronize and go both ways. Okay, TeamViewer SUSE is not, see, it's more, it's ready to be written and there's nothing over there. It's nothing older or anything. And then there's the other ones that I just downloaded. I just downloaded those three, so i686. So we'll just do that. So somehow, not only did I download my finger must have slipped, and I downloaded TeamViewer SUSE, or my eyes were crossed, or whatever, thinking I was getting the 686 version. But somehow I also ended up deleting it. Well, I do remember I thought I had them copied. What I did is, instead of waiting for my backup, or instead of well, usually what I do when I download stuff, I like to go ahead and move them to the folders in my downloads folder on my operating system. I usually, even if they're not there, I'll put them in there temporarily and let it automatically back up, and then I'll go and delete them if I get, if I worry about my system getting filled up. Well, I just went straight to copying them over to my backup drive, and then I deleted them from the downloads folder over here, this one on the left. And somehow I really messed up more ways than one. So that looks like all the 12 stuff. Let's go back where I was. Yeah, it's easy to get confused if you try to rush, and you can cause yourself some trouble. Let's see. Seagate expansion drive. Oh, I saw that 2.9 and I thought, what? 2.9 gigabytes? But that's terabytes. Okay, no problem there. Now, looks like I have a duplicate folder in there with some extra stuff. And there's stuff in this side that's not on this side. I think I left out the thing. Oh yeah, that's Debs and all kinds of stuff. I probably won't need this anymore. And I guess that was that way so it would help me organize it. No, I don't know. This is my backup drive. Okay. But if I just sync these, I'll just be writing extra stuff I don't need. Portable unzipped, yeah. But I found out that you got to unzip it on the one you're going to run it on, or it won't run. So I'm going to delete it. You need to not just, you don't want to try to run it from your SD card or your USB stick or whatever. From what I remember, it won't run. Let's see, here we go. Now, synchronize selected files, but I only want to go left to right. Compare. I don't know if we may get a little bit there. Yeah, we're going to get a few files. Since this is one of the main things I need right now, I'm going to make sure I got all I need. Now I'm just going to hit skip to everything. Actually, no, let's don't skip, because everything in my downloads folder should be newer than what's on the SD card. So I'm going to say overwrite this time. Make it take longer, but that way I'll be sure that I've got the probably fairly somewhat sure. You just saw how mixed up I got before. And now this folder, the extra folder, I don't know if that was a mistake or I did that on purpose. I'm kind of, let's see if there's anything. Actually, just hit, you can just do it that way when you don't have a lot of data, and then left to right. Nothing to do. That tells me something right there. Okay, now I'm going to go and get, now I'm in the same directory. Now then, let's do synchronized right to left. I think, a minute, close. I just want to make sure I only get this stuff. Right to left, synchronize. Nothing to do. So that folder is redundant. So I'm going to delete it now. Okay. Now we should be back to being in good shape. Yeah, but my other than my some reason, and I've tried this before, and being not in that folder doesn't make any difference, but when it's writing a video, for some reason it started using up a lot of resources. So I should have what I need to get some remote desktop going. So I'm going to take that one out. Whoop, bang it into the laptop. Now, let's see. As I switch over, I'm going to be reloading my preview. I'm going to go ahead and close this. That's a picture that I took one night that turned out, I thought it looked pretty cool. And then I played with it in various different ways. That's a mirror of it, and it looks all pixelated like that because the effect I was playing with. But I took it with a film 35 millimeter point and shoot camera. It didn't have a lens, big lens or anything on it. I never had. Well, I had a Canon T80 back in the 80s that was pretty cool. But since then, I didn't. Since then, well, I didn't get. I didn't. Excuse me. Got divorced and the ex kept it. So haven't had a good camera since then. Another 35 millimeter camera or anything. So I was going to not tell that, but I couldn't. I was just mumbling and jumbling. Didn't know what else to say, so I just said that. But anyway, that's what happened to it. I don't usually like to talk about any of that kind of junk. I'm just trying to talk about, Linux. So, place. Where am I going? Okay, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go camera 1 and 2. Because I noticed, I was watching back through my video, and it doesn't, I want to check, I'm looking at everything's a lot better now. The OBS is using a little bit more resources, but it usually doesn't go much over that. If you see it go way up above that, there's something wrong, and you better just shut it down and start over. But I think I'm going to experiment with this and see if having one camera on me and the other one on what I'm doing, other than that it might get behind even more, but 2 streams at once. But I'm going to try it for a while because you can't read the screen, and all you're seeing is just a blurry computer screen the whole time. So I thought, well, it might make the video a little less horrendously boring if there's something else to look at on the screen, but, as well as listen to me tell what's going on until I get the VNC working, and then I can go back to remote desktop and you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, I've got my little USB sticks ready. So let me get over there and plug them in. My stream is so far behind what I'm doing, it's weird. Okay, but because I was looking over there, I had it playing, and the volume is so loud that I can't even think to talk while myself is talking over there. Okay, so I'll just stop it. I am still streaming. Everything seems to be good. Okay, now, accidentally did something. Did I mess anything up? I brought up a menu in OBS Studio. Somehow, some kind of right-click menu. Add, remove, transform, scale, filtering. Okay. I think as long as I didn't do anything, it'll be all right. I'm looking at make sure it didn't. When you change settings in OBS Studio, of course, one thing I don't want to lose what I got going on here, but the other thing I don't want. Number one thing is breaking my stream, but the other thing is if you do change the setting and it actually didn't hurt my stream, it might cause OBS to use too much resources. So let me triple check my stream now before I move on. Somehow I think I grabbed the wrong mouse. I was trying to grab the one for the laptop. Yeah, okay, everything seems fine. All right, now I'll switch over here on my KVM switch. Okay, now I'm over there on the right machine, or the one I'm booting to. Now, Get it? I think I missed. I didn't get. Yeah, it didn't start. It didn't start. I wonder if I accidentally turned the power supply off or something. Let me look at it. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, it was half. It was half on and half off. I guess when I picked it up to put it on the table, my hand got a hold of it. Okay, so now we're booting up. Now, as long as it, I don't have to. If I don't have to, I won't. Yeah, I didn't have to go into BIOS. So I'm booting the 420 Fedora 27 live install on the USB stick. Live or install. And when that gets all booted up, then I can go ahead and try getting some remote desktop software going here and see if we can get that going so that I can do that while I'm installing. Okay, it's odd that this particular Fedora 27 here, it just goes to a grayish looking screen there. It's not all black like usual like that. It's like it looks like it has backlight behind it, but it always comes up with all those I/O errors. But then on SRO, which would be the USB stick, but then it boots up just fine. It goes by faster than I can try to read it. It could be that little bitty 64 megabyte Windows partition that's on there that can't be erased, that has those portable Windows apps that it can't get rid of. Now, last time I just sat here waiting for it to automatically boot in, and it never did. And I finally clicked login, and it was fine. Well, let's just wait a minute and see, because sometimes you click on it while it's trying to do it, and you'll get it all whacked up, and there'll be errors on, it won't run right and everything. But most live distros just go ahead and auto log in. Usually, sometimes they delay a little bit, and then you'll see a cursor moving, or the cursor spinning or something. But it's not doing a thing. So, and I could, click and see if there's any other options, but then I might mess things up, especially if it's trying to auto log in. So I'll wait. I remember waiting a good while the other day, and it never did. So version one time you put it on a USB or a CD, and it does that, and the next time it does the opposite. So one time it waits, another time it auto logs in. But I'm going to do it. I think it's not going to do it on its own. Yeah, sorry about all the coughing. Another fun allergy day. Okay, so now I'm going to put my stick in there, my SD card, and so I can read it. Those aren't, pretty much all motherboards are like that. Desktop motherboards, the USBs are so close together on the back that I can't really get in there to plug something in, or that's small like that. So it's easier to use the front. But I kind of like, well, it just depends on where it's setting as to whether I want to use the front or the back for the, the one I'm booting from. It really doesn't matter. Just whatever's easiest to get to. one or two of my older machines that I think they were. I was gonna say they were USB 1.0, but I think they were 2.0. But my Pentium 4, I think, might be one of the ones that it seemed like it would boot fine if you put it. It would only boot from the stick if you put it in like the first. You have to figure out which one's the first one in the operating system, or not the operating system, but the BIOS order, and put it in the first or second one, I think, and it would work. Any of the others, it wouldn't boot to it and all that stuff. I swear, I did used to run into that kind of thing. But anyway, let's go ahead and get the. Well, I'll just click on the icon for the 32 gigabyte card. I don't have one file manager on here unless I want to. I don't want to install. If I install anything, it'll be the TeamViewer. That is, I didn't mention that a minute ago. That's an installer. It's not. I'll change that to list view so I can read it. It's smaller, but it's in the right order for my eyes to work with it. Yeah, I've got quite a bit of stuff on here. See what all I do have on there. Okay. Because this is basically, I have it kind of set up where I can, as tools for Linux and Windows, I have virus scanners and all kinds of stuff on here. So, okay, now there's my TeamViewer, and I got to do that again. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, now 13 is on the bottom, but that's all right. I hate that. Can I fix that? Preferences. Sort folders. Show hidden backup. I want that. Okay. Icon. View defaults. Use. Okay, I want. Oh, there it is. Very top one. View folders in list view. Now maybe I'll be alright after that. We'll see. Now I don't think I need to change anything else. I'm going to get out of it and try it again and see. Maybe it'll all make me happy. There we go. So it's really pretty simple if you just take the minute there to do it. Okay. And if I wanted it to be bigger, I can change. I remember yesterday I was having trouble. I didn't, I went ahead and changed to the actually, that would be very helpful. So I'm going to go to Preferences, Look and Feel, Appearance, and I'm going to change it to Traditional OK. That already makes everything bigger where I can read it better. And then if I go to the fonts and make them 11, then it's even better. And that's what I need to be able to see it. Because if you just keep squinting and trying to read it, now it makes my eyes hurt, and it also makes me make mistakes. TeamViewer there, 13. I'm gonna go ahead and make it so that TeamViewer. Oh, it's not the newest one now because of the backup stuff I did and all that. Well, let's just leave it in ABC order. All right, now. So we've got. Yeah, this is all 13, so RPMs are on the top. Yeah, and the SUSE RPM just somehow, for some reason, is on the bottom. Probably wouldn't be using that, but it's not real big. It's just 12 megabytes. Okay, so this is a 64-bit system, and with these TeamViewers, you got to have the right one for your architecture. It won't run. Used to, you could run a 32-bit app on pretty much any 64-bit system, but it's getting to where it won't work anymore. Okay, now if I open it with, that's the problem. If I open it with DNF Dragora, all that does is it says package installer, but it won't do it. That's why I ended up trying that other thing. It just opens up DNF, and I'll do it and just see. But I'm almost 100% certain you can't install. I mean, I guess if you could add, when you install something from an RPM, it'll add their repo to your repos list. But I don't know if you can, add their repo, you'd have to manually do it, and it's hard for me to do. But it'll check for updates first before it does anything else. But heck, wouldn't that be something if you could actually install it. But I don't believe so. I don't remember ever seeing it in there until after I installed them from the RPMs, in the Fedora repos, because it's not free software. It's not. I don't even think it's open source, much less completely like Fedora. It's got to be completely. When they say free, they mean it's freedom, free to do anything you want with, basically, open source and free. And so if somebody writes some software that may be free, as in no cost, but it's not free to do whatever you want, like drivers is the big thing. They don't put a lot of drivers in there, or firmware, they call it. Sometimes it's really called firmware for your hard drives or whatever, or for your Wi-Fi drivers. Some people, some of the people, these writers of the information like to be more accurate, so they don't want to call a driver something that's not actually a driver or a driver. They used to always be that way about, oh yeah, it doesn't even work at all in the live version. Okay. Forgot about that. It won't do, oh, it was trying to do it. There it is right there. Let's see what it says. Okay, I'll try to read. Error occurred. Well, like I was just saying yesterday when I tried this, if I was to use Apper and the right plugins to, not really plugins, but there's some apps you can put in there to be able to install from an RPM. But I want to start installing a bunch of stuff on top of this live system is the thing. Because it's just it's all going into memory, and this machine won't have enough memory left to do the install with if I do all that. Okay, so yeah, I could not open this software. Looks like there may be some, I don't know, I'm talking and not even reading this, but there's some missing, I think it's just really more than anything missing dependencies for you to be able to install from an RPM. So even if I could get it to work, it would just be using up too much memory on this system, because I only got 2 gig of memory, which is fine for, running it live and running the system, I think. Once I install it, but it's not going to be fine to installing apps and their dependencies and stuff. Okay, so let's go into my Tiger VNC downloads and go ahead and get that extra pane view going there, and I'm going to click on that side and then go to live user. Now, I did this yesterday with the older version, so 1.8. I'll just open it up with the zip program first and see make. Okay, so you can install it. You may have to. Building text. Let's see. Yeah. I thought it was should be something about. I believe they were saying Unix instead. Yeah, there it is, Unix. On Unix systems, okay, CMake G so and so. Okay. Yeah, there's a whole lot of instructions about that. Whole lot. I'm trying to get back to the first mention of it. Well, I guess if I watch those yellow, there we go. Building. There's that. Okay, so I don't want to make it and build it and install it, because again, that'll use more resources on the machine. But I don't understand why one of them's a tar GZ. Oh, I closed that now. I'm opening it back up. Let's look at the README again. Usually the tars and the tars and targz files are the ones you want when you're in Unix because it'll have what works on your system. Some kind of okay, now here's those instructions that I did. I think maybe it's pretty, I guess it's all the same stuff, just packed in different ways. So, yeah, VNC server. So I should be able to just unpack it, and whenever I open them up like that and fiddle around with them, I'm not always sure where I am in the folders because I go fast and don't pay a heck of a lot of attention. I think this is basically the same thing, just zipped in different ways. I guess because Windows doesn't. It's pretty hard to open a tar file and stuff in Windows. I mean, it's not the common zip platform. So yeah, I think they're the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and use the tar one. But what I'm going to do is say right click and unpack it. I think. Let's see. Extract here, extract to. I mean, I could do, I don't want it going there. I just want it going to live user because I'm, let's see, it's selecting those two. That's not where I want it to go. Home. That's where I want it to go. Yeah. Yeah, there's my desktop and downloads folders and all that. Now, there it is. Tiger VNC 1.8.0. And now I should be able to do the just use the README text. There it is. To tell me what to do again. Yeah, XVNC for Unix is both a VNC server and an X server with a virtual frame buffer. You should normally use the VNC server script to start XVNC. Yeah, there it is, VNC server. This is how I got it going yesterday. Just says it's a wrapper script which makes starting XVNC more convenient. XVNC server requires Perl. Well, I had that. I had it on there yesterday already. And the came right with Fedora 27 mate desktop. Okay, so this is the next version up. That was 1.7, I guess, that I had before, but it should be all right. And I went round and around trying to get it to open up in my folder. Oh yeah, you got to be in the right folder. Let's see. I think I went. Yeah. I believe that's all I need to do is go into the Unix folder there. Yeah, password, config, all those are in that folder. So that's where I need to be. But before I even go off and forget again, let's go over here and get in the firewall. I open up the right port before I even start it up. Okay, now you probably can go down here and just select VNC. Yep, VNC server. What is VDSM anyway? I don't know. Well, it's not. Clicking on it doesn't tell you. Only the other thing I'm not so sure about, yeah, it doesn't automatically put those ports in there, so I'm going to add. I'm going to add that port to make sure. I think it only needs TCP, but I can do them both just to make sure it works. I'm going to go UDP and TCP. Sometimes they talk one way on one port. Oh, they're talking back, forwards in one port and backwards in the other. So I'm not sure. I don't remember. So let's see. Runtime. Quit. I don't know if, there's not a save up here. I think that just does it. Well, I'm on runtime, and that's all I can do on the live system, so I'm not going to try to change it to, there's something that says runtime to permanent. I'm going to do that. It won't make any difference, but that's the closest thing to save we got here. Okay, so, oh yeah, connections. I used oh, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, now I think I can close the window for that. Now, I can't do open terminal here, but I can do open terminal from there. Now then, CD, hey, Linux, it looks like it's in that folder already. It sure looks like that's what it's saying. It says Linux at localhost /live space Unix, and that's the. So let's see. We'll just try running the setup VNC server script. Couldn't find it. Okay. It says couldn't find .xvnc. Maybe I don't want to be in that. Maybe I wasn't in the right place. Modules. So I didn't have any trouble. It didn't say. It didn't say that none of it was found. It just said that one particular thing wasn't found. .xvnc. So I'm wondering if maybe I should have been at the root of the Tiger VNC folder to do that, but instead of in the Unix folder. Doesn't seem so. Just looking through all the folders in the Unix folder now to see if there's anything that says .xvnc. I don't really remember. I suppose when I did it yesterday, I did it that way. I'm going to close that terminal window and open up another one. Yeah, it looks to me like it's actually, even though it doesn't say open terminal here, it just says open terminal on that right click menu. It looks like it actually is opening up in my folder that I'm in, like I've been whining and crying about wanting it to do. Now I'm just going to try to run it straight from there. Okay, no such file or directory, right. So, but that's because I'm not in the directory with that app. You can open it, but I want to do it in the terminal so I can get that readout and tell me what's going on. So let's try running it again. VNC server. Could not find .xvnc. So I think maybe this one's not really meant to run portable wise. Unless maybe there's a little difference in the zip version. And it is. Let's see. Well, you know, the one that I was running, you know, it did look different. So I guess it won't hurt a thing to, you know, if I want it again, I can unzip it again. I'm going to delete that folder. That way, with that little, even though it's not a lot, that's something to be using up memory. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the 1.7 version because it was, let me look at it again first. Yeah, it says user bin lib. It's all just laid out like it's it's laid out like the operating system. So I think there we go. So I think it's set up to run. User, bin, share, lib64. I think bin is where I went and found it. Yeah, bin has all of these files. VNC server. So if I open up terminal, it's in bin. Okay. I guess yesterday or the other day I didn't catch on to that, and I went. Now you will require a password. Okay. Do you would like to view only password? No. Okay, so now I made me a password. I'm logged in. I'm logged in. I've got a login set up, and I believe it's running. Localhost live 1. Live user desktop is localhost live 1. Creating default startup script, X startup. Yeah, see, it made a .vnc folder. I remember that. It makes one in the home directory. Home live user, creating default config home live user. So this is a portable version. The other one is supposed to be installed. That's what it is. Maybe there's a portable somewhere hiding on the side of the new one too, and I just didn't see it. But I'm not going to go looking for it if this one will work. Home live user VNC config .vnc. Starting applications specified in home live user. Okay, and there's a log file you could look in. It tells you where it is. It's up and running from what I see here. I'll close that README file. That was from the other one anyway. Okay. And I'm going to go look at, I'm pretty sure the process is running, but let's just go make sure. And xvnc, VNC config. So I think it's running. By the way, this system, what I'm running here is, well, I can show that in a minute. Fedora 27, 64-bit, and I'll show that again in a little bit. Once if I get the remote desktop up and going, then I can show everything just as nice as I need to. Okay, now I already opened up the firewall, so if I'm right, that's the only problem I had. Then we should be good to go here. I better go ahead and get my little preview reloaded. Now I'll switch over to my desktop view over here now. Get into a remote desktop app. Oh, I don't have to search for it. I've got two of them. Well, I'm using Tiger VNC server, so I'll try the Tiger VNC viewer. Oh, I forgot to look at the IP address on that machine let's see if it's the same one. If it is, we'll be happy. I won't have to go back over there again. Okay, yeah, I'm streaming good and everything. Unable to connect to socket. Connection refused. 1111. Well, maybe it's not the same IP. Let's go look. Now, what is your IP today? It may be the same or it may have changed. 0.171. Okay. You know what? Oh no, this is VNC. Yeah. Let's look in the firewall again. 0.171. 192.168.0.171. VNC server is opened up. And there's really nothing else to do with VNC in here. Got 5900 opened up. Protocols. Oh yeah, services. Trusted services. IP sets. That's different. I used to there used to be one. Oh, interfaces. There it is. There's a lot of different things to. Oh, that okay. You can't actually change all that. Okay, so when you click on these, it doesn't do anything over here on the left. But up here, services. Okay, let's see if there's any more VNC stuff. VNC server. Yeah, 15. Actually, it says 5900 to 5903. Okay, that was already put in there. I guess that's when I clicked on that. And I don't want the browser port, 5800 open. I'm not using that, so. So, I don't know. Maybe me manually putting that in. I never have seen it cause any trouble before, but PDSM, I don't remember what that does, but there's a whole lot of ports associated with it. Okay, so if I have that enabled, runtime, okay, extender. Usually I like to change it to home and do all my settings in there and make it the default, but usually public is the default. Well, you know what? Public is more strict. Let's switch over to home and see what happens. Sometimes there's just little things in the background, basically. I'm going to take those out since it didn't help me any. Yeah, before I keep on trying to fix everything else, let's just... Well, I went ahead and did that. I did VNC server on home, and I did it on public. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the firewall has changed up a bit in the last... I think it's the same as it was. It may be the same pretty much as it is in Fedora 23. Now, there's something different, something missing, actually, that I can't do in there. But, where did it go? That changed the way it looked. Okay. I don't want to fiddle with every little thing in it if I don't have to. And I did it on home mode too, but I should be in public mode is what I should be in. Let's see. let's say runtime to permanent, since I just added that one little thing. Now let's go see if it'll talk to me. And this time I'll leave this open. Maybe when I close it, it was still there though when I opened it back up. So I shouldn't have. I don't believe I lost my settings. Okay, now we're back over here. Go to desktop. I think I may be. I guess I've started my. I guess I already paused it. 0.171. Pretty sure that's right. Connection refused. Okay. Let's go back over there. Okay. Already did the password. Let's try and run that VNC config script. I think I tried it yesterday and it wouldn't even run, but we'll see. Or I guess it's not a script in this case, but no VNC extension on display. Oh, why does it? So do I need to? Oh, so then how would I get? It says 1, so it says it opened it up on 1, not 0. No such file or directory. Okay. I don't know how to tell it something different. I vaguely remember there might be something to do with giving it the right display that you're trying to work on. XO VNC server. I'm going to have to open up my README files again. Let's see. Rather that be closer to the same. Okay. Manual. No, that's not a manual. Or is it? I think that is something, yeah, it's something you can read anyway. I'm wondering if it's on and running, I think, but is it not accepting viewers? all kinds of great information in here. Well, I don't know. If what I'm looking for is in there, I didn't see it right there. Just looking, what's in the applications folder? VNC Viewer Desktop. Oh yeah. That's the viewer. We don't want the viewer. Okay. Doc, license and README. Well, let's go in the README one more time, but I don't think there's a lot in there. That is where I found the instructions on how to get the basic quick at getting started instructions. Okay. Okay, it started. All right, the password. I've already had me set a password. And VNC config, a program which is used to configure then control the running instance. See, that's about, I can't get it to, it's not working for me for some reason. Oh, an X0 VNC server. Oh, the inefficient server which continuously poses X. It's continually managed as a demonstration of VNC. So, VNC config, I think, is what I need to work, to get it. I don't know why it won't open up, because it may not be set to just automatically accept them. I'd forgotten about my preview, and it was over there. I noticed it whenever the little circle started spinning that it wasn't loading right properly. When it's quiet, you don't even realize it. I forget that I reloaded it and I was going to check it. So I'll have to look at it. Try to just reload it and then come back and look at it in a minute, but I forget. Alright, so I'm still working just fine. Close that web browser and that laptop and let it rest itself for a minute. Now, what does it tell me? Well, I can go back and look. No server on display O. Okay. Let's see, which way do you do it? I can't remember if you put, I'm going to looking for help. I think I put the name of the app and then put help. No, but that didn't do nothing but give me the exact same. Okay. I'm just guessing at some kind of command that would either give me information or start it up. I tried, dot, let's see, no such file, dot / VNC config : 1, because I know it's on, maybe I have to say localhost live 1. I'll do it just the way it's written out there. Nope, it still says no VNC extension on display O. Let's try it just the other way around. I'm guessing. I wish Control V would work. Ah. Okay, well, we'll do it this way. Local. Oh, let's copy it from up there where I know it's typed right. Because for all I know, I was typing it wrong. Copy. What am I trying to do? Oh, edit. You would think in the terminal that it would, really lean towards keyboard shortcuts instead of using your mouse, but actually the standard keyboard shortcuts don't even work. You can turn them on if you want to fiddle around in the settings, but then it ends up, I guess that's why it ends up conflicting with something, command not found. I tried localhost live 1 and then tried to run, maybe I don't need to. VNC config, nope. I wonder if I could run no, you can't run on. There's only a few times when you can run an app without putting // Well, actually, it did try to run it. It's without the // it still tried to run it because I'm in that folder, but no VNC extension on display. Oh, I don't know how to tell it. Anything different than, that I evidently I'm on display 1, not display 0. So let's see if we can open. Let's see. Oh, I think it just opened. Tried to open. Now I've got it trying to run and not working. I wanted to open it with, let's see what kind of file it is. See if it's a config file. I think it might be a script. It's an executable. It says that, so it must be a script. So I need to open it up with a Pluma. No, it won't let me. It's having trouble with the character encoding. I hit cancel. So you probably need a different app. I don't know if we have a different one on here. No, I don't think we have any other, except for OpenOffice. I guess I could try it, but no, it can't read it. Okay. So VNC, the viewer. What happens if I open up the viewer? I'll go ahead and do it in the terminal, so I'll see whatever output I get. What I'm wondering is, you can. I'm just going to paste it in there and see if it runs itself without this. Nope. Command not found. Okay. // There we go. The viewer. Oh, it looks like it got a bunch of errors. Font config error, etc fonts config, font errors, fonts, all about the fonts, unknown accepted number, so and so. So it ain't going to run, because what you can do is use a viewer to look at, your own VNC server on the machine you're on. I wanted to see if it was accessible at all. That's what I was thinking. Oh, there it comes. It ran anyway. Okay. Just took a. It still worked. Let me go ahead and check my IP address again. 0.171. Okay, now if it does open up, it will get an immediate feedback loop. Yeah, connection refused. So even though it's this process is running, I still don't have something running. All right, let's try this. It says this is generally ran from that script, but wait, I could just run the script again. Yeah, let's run that. It says that's the good way to start it, is from the VNC server script. So we'll try that. looking for VNC server. There it is. Now it'll probably run a second instance of it, or at least that's what I thought when it did it yesterday. Okay, new localhost live 2. Live user desktop is localhost live 2. Starting application system specified in home. Live user VNC X startup. Okay, log file is at home. Live user so and so so and so. Okay. Now, did I close that viewer? I think I did. Sure did. It may still be the firewall, but I don't see what I've left out in the firewall. Yeah, the port. Usually they don't say anything about the ports in these README files. But it's always this is not TeamViewer uses other ports, but this should be using 5900. Of course, the ports that I have open are wide range anyway because I went with the default. It seems like before, when I just selected VNC server, it didn't work, and then when I added in ports, it did work. So let's do it again. I'll just do this. 5800 to 5900. I shouldn't actually, like I said, I'm not using the Java port 5800. To 5900 UDP and TCP. Now that covers all the ports that I ever use except for with, like I said, in now I'll say runtime to permanent, even though I don't think that makes any difference. Now I guess I'll go back over. Wait, I can try it from here. So where's the viewer? There it is, VNC viewer. There it is. It opened right up this time. Options. Okay. Still just says unable to connect to the socket, refuse 1111. I don't think normally when you change it, open a port in the firewall, you don't have to change it from runtime to permanent and see if that, since I'm changing everything to permanent, we'll see. Did I close that again? Yeah, I guess I did. Oh, it closes itself. Same problem. So I switched on the firewall over to permanent, but that doesn't make any difference on that. Trusted. I'm going to say VNC server is trusted. Of course, what about viewer? Well, I'm going to go ahead and add 5900 again in the trusted ports. Okay. Public still stays highlighted no matter what I do, so I think it's what I'm operating on. Normally I wouldn't put that in the trusted ports for sure, but I'm just trying to make this work, so. Now then, I'm still going to do that runtime to permanent. Since I selected permanent mode, I think to actually get into permanent mode, you do have to restart the machine, maybe not just the the firewall app. Now, I think it might work as long as you don't reboot the system, since it's a live system. Okay, so leave it like that and try it. I'm almost sure that. Try it again. 0.171. Let's make sure I'm not goofy about my 192.168.0.171. We are doing the right port, right? Same exact error. So, connection refused. Yeah, I noticed that. So if I can't even connect from this machine to it, you know what that probably actually means, that the firewall's not the problem. I'm going to take a guess there. Seems like what I remember, that anytime I did that, just fiddling around, that it didn't matter what the firewall was set. I'm going to try starting that VNC all by itself. I don't care anymore. I mean, I'll just reboot it. Error. Server already active for display O. Okay. It is active for display O. This server is no longer running. Remove temp XO lock and start again. Ah, okay. Wonder if I could do restart or something. So it's running. It just, I just can't connect, and I don't know why. Well, let's try the password thing again. I mean, I just made a password, but try it again. Alright. But it's not asking for a password, so. Okay, now it's asking me for a password. View only password. I wonder if I need to enter a view only password. This time I'll say yes. Whoa. I'm supposed to say yes or no. It's still. Oh. Okay. Okay, so now I have a view only password. Try the viewer again from right here on this machine. Exact same thing. Connection refused. 1 1. I think it's 4 1s. 1 2 3 4. 1 1 1 1. I'll try a quick Google search, but I guess I spend so much time trying to do this just for the sake of the video. Could have already installed the system twice now, but sometimes I get my head set I want to do something and I keep going until I get it to work. Where's the doesn't even show you the search bar or anything. Where's the search bar in here? Pull out the junk I don't like. There's no point in doing this in a, temporary system, but I think the find, I'm looking at find, but I don't think that's the search bar for Google. Oh, I guess you got to do that in the regular settings. Well, let's don't go nuts here. We'll just go to Google. Okay, now then. Yep, that's a common search. Tiger VNC server. It's only listening on the loop ACK address local domain. Try launching it with the server's IP address specified explicitly. You also might want to try localhost no. And then someone says this is one of those everybody answering kind of things. Localhost no geometry, 800 by 600, depth 24. Localhost no. Well, let's try that. We'll probably get it started up again and again or something, but only thing is I would rather have bigger than 800 by 600. What is it, 1900 by 1024? Is that our normal? Displays 1800 by 1080. Okay, I'm glad I looked. Alright, I don't know if that'll be a problem, but I've been wondering if I could do that anyway. Command not found. Okay. But I didn't put the dot / in front of it. Let's try to see if that works. Whoops, that made it go away. Okay, that's running something. The first attempt you start, XVC failed. Brought up a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see. It brought up all the help and everything this time. A whole lot of stuff. Okay. Oh gosh. Can't find my spot now. There it is. Font catalog is not properly configured. Attempting to determine an appropriate path. System and restart X using the font path. Okay. All kinds of commands, you know, the whole help thing. So I got some sort of font error thing going on here. Okay, fatal error, unrecognized option, no. Oh, well, it wasn't ever going to work anyway. So yeah, that's what you get for trying stuff off of a forum type page. Okay. Oh, I should put that in there. Well, yeah, Fedora. There we go. I should have put Fedora in there to start with, but that's a link to Fedora. Okay. Unable to connect. Geometry, so and so, so and so. Okay, so it's getting into a whole bunch of stuff here. It's looks like I could be messing around just about as long as I already have, just to find out if that would work. So let me look at what I got available on my stick. There's one thing. Let's see. Restart. I'm going to try restart. Let's see. I think in this case, I think I would say ./VNC server restart. I don't know. Sometimes you put restart in the beginning and sometimes you don't. Okay, I think that was right. I think it could be that after I set my password and everything, I just now thought of that I really needed to restart it, even though it didn't say that anywhere that I saw. There, okay. I remembered how to spell for a change. Try the viewer. Same old thing. Okay, so that didn't help. There's some configuration evidently that's got to be done. Yeah, let's see. And I have to shut this down. Okay. I don't know if I want to say exit or shut down. Try shut down. Okay, kill list. I think that worked. Let's go over here and look in the running processes. I think I'll close the firewall app now. I've gone on so long, no matter what I do, I'm going to have to reboot this system and get it all, the memory all emptied out and freshened up. But if I can get a handle on where I want to go, then I'll try to figure that out before I reboot it. I think I would have been better off seeing how much memory it would use up to try to install. I'm going to see if there's a TeamViewer portable that I missed. That's what I just now realized. If I had searched harder for TeamViewer portable, that works really well and easy. Or I could try to install the new version according to those install commands, but that would be so much harder than using the GUI, Actually, I can just install Vino and KRFB. Oh yeah, well I can't do it with DNF, but I might be able to do it in the terminal, which is another pain in the butt. Okay, so what was I going to do? Processes. I'm actually have to take a break too, so probably end up having to take that break and then come back and after a reboot. XVNC, it's running twice. So that will probably conflict. There's no telling which, even if I try to, it's running twice, so it's not going to kill by what I just did. Now I could do that. Actually, I need a break so bad, I don't care. I've done so much, I'm going to reboot and start fresh. So, let's see. Let me shut it down, and then I will take my little break. All right. Well, used to, if I'd spent a lot of time doing this stuff, I would remember it at least for 6 months or something. Now I don't remember it a week. So, I mean, if I succeeded, I've succeeded in various ways in doing this stuff, and I can't remember. So, I'm going to take a break, and then while I'm taking my break, I'll figure out which way I should try to go at it. But that's definitely the long way home. It's running and everything, but there's something in the configuration that I need to learn how to do, and for just a live system and a one-time deal, it's kind of silly. So I'll be back in a little bit. All right.